What is up, my friends? We are back. Hello. I got some lunch in me. I got some coffee with me. And I'm ready to finish up Hipishi here. And add them to our collection. This is the current roster in the center here. And on the sides, we have them organized by class and subclass. And we're going to be starting up another category of aquatic here, which we already have in Vessel and a Simple Squid with Hipishi here. Now my idea is something to do with bones. I feel like something to do with bones is coming up, and I'm not sure. Okay, we're ready. Hipishi's up. I want to do something with bones. I don't know what yet, though. Well, I made these fish bones. And I don't know what to do with them yet. But I want to do something with them. Like, I don't know what his ability will be with these bones. Or why he has an ability with these bones. But I want these fish bones to mean something. I'm at 101. Are you really Nexled? No way. No, you're not. What? Oh, unless this is you. What's up, Lan? How you doing, buddy? Fishbone armor sounds cool. Probably hard to add in animation-wise. Yeah, I was thinking, like, when he lands a hit, something occurs with the fish bones. Like, they come out of the ground and attack. Or maybe it's some kind of projectile he gets, because he's going to be kind of like a heavy swinger, because these things are going to be, you know, kind of harder to hit necessarily, you know? So maybe a back bling, Fishbone's back bling range attack. I don't know, just something with fish. And these fish bones, I think fish bones would be a really cool thing to add to him. I just don't know how to do it yet, but I think it has something to do with fish. You know what I mean? Lands a hit with the anchor, and I thought like fish could come flying out or something and like attack, but that's kind of lame. I think, I don't know. What's up, Comic Pyro? I'm alive. What's up, DJ? But I want to do something with these fish bones. Something fish bones oriented if we could. They're playing with you at your job? What do they mean? What do you mean? Bone arrows? That's not a bad idea, but I don't know that it fits his identity, because he's kind of got a two-hander going on. Sorry, my dog just stole my music. You son of a bitch. If my dog barks, my Alexa says it's gonna be okay and plays some music. But it also pulls my Spotify from what I'm listening to, and it pulls it out in the living room. They just told me now I'm gonna dock my pay if I don't get 3 weeks worth of wheat done by this Wednesday. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, and that's also illegal. A mantis shrimp inspired sRHGu, that would be sick. Yeah, they can't do that, by the way. I would then in turn say, if I get 3 weeks of work done by Wednesday, you need to pay me for 3 weeks of work done. Or I'm going home right now. That's what I would say. I'd say, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and cut my check right now. And good luck to everyone else that's going to have to get those 3 weeks of work done without me. See ya! Maybe the hits he does can spawn individual pieces of fish. Once... Oh. Don't let anyone disrespect you like that or your time. Ever. Well, you just say, hey, this is what you say. This is what I'm gonna promise you. You're not gonna dock my pay because I'm paid hourly. That's number one. Number two, I will work and do my best, but I can make you no promises. It's that simple. I'm gonna give you my best 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you my best till Wednesday, but you're not. If you're getting paid hourly, then that's different. I kind of like the idea of forming pieces. Hold on. Let's explore this. Let's explore this. Like, okay. Let's think. You do whatever you got to, buddy. But just know that's not cool, okay? I want you to at least understand that that's not cool. I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger, when certain entities were doing not cool stuff, that it's not cool. You know what I mean? So just know that. That's not cool. Let's back this up a little bit. What if we do that? I also make the effect when he hits them have fishbones spawn and attack the person. I'm thinking like the fishbones spawn on hit and then hover above the enemy, and then when it forms it can like attack. You know what I mean? It like dislodges its jaw and starts doing like the rah 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 like fishbones, like Jinx fishbones kind of thing, where they like cackle like that. Yeah, it's like imagine a hit occurs and these bones come flying out above the target like this, and they'll start assembling. Each piece is like a piece of the fish, and then once they have the full fish, it's a summon. You know? Hit number 2. And then hit number 3, it'll like pop that out. And then it forms the fish and it comes crashing down. Wait, is that my scythe? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. This scythe? This scythe, my scythe? Yes, sir! What's up, buddy? Long time no see, friend. How have you been? Yep, first gen. First generation. And I'll still include the people past the 100 as first gen. I just won't be going straight into them after I hit the 100. I'm going to focus on finishing or starting an animation to get some of these guys moving. Some of them alive. I want to get people inspired about them being alive and awake. I heard there's a Stickman Renaissance. People keep saying that. Ever since I got back, man, that's all I'm hearing. Let me see if I can do something here. Add. Also lifting this while working is helping the stress, so that's good. Oh, you're working right now? Okay, well, then I got you. You'll be fine then. Just lock in. You'll be fine. I'll be in your ear and keep you distracted while you're just doing your thing. Okay, so on hit summons fish bones. Fish bones transforms, and then what? I'm home right now working away at items I gotta get done. Okay, there you go. I like that. That's better. Okay. So on hit with the anchor, spawns fish bones. Fish bones hover the target and then strike. In my mind, they should strike and then fall apart. Like, they should just stay there because I want multiples of these fish to come out. A bunch of tests about job knowledge and money. Interesting. How many characters? How many do you think currently? I think I put the big fish behind him. That's what we'll do. We'll put the big fish behind him. Besides, what have you been up to, man? $94? I think this might be 94 or 95. This is Hipishi's 95, so yeah, 94 in total. Trying to think on how to like showcase a completed fish and then showcase the parts, you know what I mean? I want to showcase the parts separately from the completed fish, you know what I mean? I started my first stick animation in 15 years for the Chosen One, but I found out last week that it's a thing, so I'm fairly certain I won't make it on time for the deadline or the quality. Go for it though, dude. You should do it. You should do it regardless. Yeah, exactly. Gives you a deadline and it like pressures you to get it done, to do something. I think that's really cool. That's super exciting, man. Have you been working in the arts or animation ever since? Have parts on the ground and then just have the complete fish behind him. That's what I'm thinking, like this. I'm working as a visual effects artist on games. Brother. That's so cool to hear. I love that. It always warms my heart. It's always nice to hear from some of the old school people, you know, from the OGs, but then it really makes me happy to hear that you like followed your passion and continued working creatively, you know? That is super cool to hear, man. I love that. Bleed effect? Ink, what's up, baby? A bleed effect on bite? I don't know if I like that. So by the way, in this AU, are any old heads going to come back, like old sticks? Well, part of this tournament's going to occur in Andre's arena, so Andre is going to interact with them in some way. I haven't really decided yet. Tell me about this guy. So this is Hipishi. He is of the aquatic type. He has an anchor, and he has like a 3-hit passive, essentially. Is it 3 hits? It might be 4. One, or maybe it's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, I'll decide. It'll be 3 or 4 hit passive. Where basically multiple hits. Every time he hits you with the anchor, it's going to spawn a chunk of a fish bone. And it's going to like hover around until it forms the fish, and then the fish is going to attack you. Yeah, essentially, Andre's arena, where Andre's stuck right now, he's going to see them come show up in the Andre's arena background, and it's going to tie in like that. Right? I'm trying to think of like a really cool effect to add to when the fish attacks other than just like bones landing on you, you know? So that's where I'm at right now. I thought about it like triggering some kind of like geyser. Like when the fish hits you, there's like a geyser of water. You know what I mean? To like, I don't know. I think that'd be sick. It's like it lands on top of you, and then there's a geyser of water that occurs or something, you know?
Come on.
But I feel like the geyser's animation, I could probably pull it off. But the reason why I say that is I can't see it immediately. And pulling it off would be 100% of the effect. Like if that doesn't look good, then all of it's not gonna, then all of that as an idea doesn't work. You know what I mean? Ooh, swimming through the ground like it's water would be sick. That I like. You know what? That I like. Then it's a summon that you don't... Okay, yeah. Because then it's a summon that you don't have to animate all the time or all of it. You know what I'm saying? I like that kind of summon where it's like suggestive. Because all you have to do is have like just some of the fins coming out of the ground. And that's easy. Attaboy. We're down for that. We're down to clown for that. So, impacts... I like giving the characters like almost like passives like you would in a video game, right? I think that's completely underused and people don't value that at all or do that enough. So on hit spawns bones, and those bones, when you have enough hits, form a fish that's a summon. Should I write a non-canon idea that, because honestly it was in my head for a while now. Go for it. What if the fish bones may paralyze part of them? We could do that. That might be just flavor on how you animate it. Penguin, what's up, buddy? I've been listening and with a half an eye watching these streams and VODs during work, so thanks a lot for that. Dude, I love to hear that. I really hope that like, from what I'm hearing, it's exactly what I would want my streams as far as giving value to the people that are out there. You know? So I really appreciate you telling me that. That's exactly what I'm hoping these streams are for somebody. You know, just something on in the background or something you can kind of rely on to hear something while you're doing something else. Engaging is wonderful, but even beyond that, those that are kind of lurking is cool. Yeah, dude. Ink, I'm right there with you. Like, watch this. Like this. I see it. And this would be like a fairly lightweight summoner. Like this would be, like I said, like a lightweight summoner. You don't have to like... They don't have to be on the screen all the time. They don't have to be fully articulated. You can kind of mess with their shape and form as much as you want. That's the kind of like, when I have something that has a summon, that's kind of what I want, you know? Because you don't want to have this thing where it's like, oh, you have to animate a separate character all the time. That's a pain. Like, and it's honestly awful to do that. You do not want to do a summon that you have to animate all the time. It will drive you nuts. I promise you this. Because then you're like, every step you take, you're like, oh my god, I gotta go back. Oh my god, oh my, I gotta go back again. Oh, and it just becomes a nightmare. And it's just it's such a boner kill. But something like this, just popping out of the ground quickly and then going back in. Okay, ink. Oh my god. So, your whole process you just went through right now, Ink, ending up with you saying, send me this file and I'll animate him. That's exactly why I'm doing this. I'm creating this whole world, and I'm going to be animating them for my own project, but the whole point of all these characters is for people to get excited about wanting to animate them, create fan art, create animations, and adopt them. And that's why they're like, this is like a Pokedex. Just like how in Pokemon, there's various different ones that people identify with and appreciate and like. That's kind of what these are about. But it's not Pokemon, it's our thing, you know? Each one of these characters is going to fit into somebody's niche, into somebody's skill set, into somebody's flavor, and inspire somebody in some way that you just want to start animating it. That's the whole point. I love that you just like organically went through that whole process. And then we're typing in chat. That's the reason why all of these exist. I've been manipulated, dragged into the Stone Mountain via trickery. Yes, exactly. You've got it. You're now part of the Stone Mountain universe. This is your new guardian. The Stone Mountain is a planet that is literally a mountain that was crafted by this guy right here. The Stone Garden. It's a ginormous mountain, the whole planet. And it has like little different sub-ecosystems in it. And those are the different lands in which all these different species exist. And this is the silent guardian of Stone Mountain. What's up, TSO? Mr. Guy. This is it, though. 100% we got there. Sometimes, like, this character took over an hour and a half at this point. But like I said, time and time again, it's so much more worth it when you just wait that little bit of extra time to get it right. Because now I'm excited about this character. Initially, I was like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, I still don't have, like, the feel or vibe or excitement to want to animate him yet. I don't have that feeling. But I know it's there. I just have to keep going, you know? And that's totally it. And this yellow just represents whatever terrain you could be going through. This isn't obviously like the yellow you have to use or something. You have a storyboard down though? That's already half of it, man. Actually, you know what? I could probably get rid of the ones on the ground. Now that we have a tangible fish, I could probably break these apart and show them as like hovering items. So that then it'll summon it on the ground. Yep. There it is. Hipishi's done. That is it. It makes it very ghostly, phasing through the grounds, wall stuff. Exactly. And you know when you said ghostly, it reminded me of this. Hold on, check this out. Watch what we can do. I have an idea. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'd be sick to have it like have this like glowing head when it pops out. Hold on. That's not what I want. There we go. Hold on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Super simple. It's just a graphic overlay. You can animate that with it as it comes in and out of the ground. So it'll give it some contrast coming out of the ground. And you have to like, you'll fear that. You see that coming, you're not too happy. You're not you're not having a good time. Okay, let me just finish him up. And that's it. Okay. Yes, sir. Now we're cooking. Hipishi is done. Let me just line him up now. Let's put him right about there. That's fine. All right, now we need to do his text. His text describes what he does. Fish so cold, he got a lower jaw. Exactly. Remember, this is stone mountain creatures, so I can make them however. So I made them like these like weird looking, like they have like a double spine on the top of their body that has like a bend to it. So like I imagine them having like, they're almost like this when they're alive, whatever this fish would look like, right? And it'd have like, it's like this. This is almost what I picture for the fish if it was alive. And it has three sorry. It has three spots on its fins too, not two. Okay, so his text. Fish and bones. It's a whole dinosaur, legit. Fish and bones. 15. Impacts with anchor spawn hovering bones. Hovering fish bones. After, let's call it 4 impacts with anchor, bones fuse together and spawn a land. I'm thinking like skeleton fish, bonefish, a land bonefish that swims the soil. I don't know. After 4 impacts with anchor bones, bones fuse together and spawn a land bonefish. I just put bonefish that swims the surface. No, it's not the surface, it's like subsurface. Do I just put subsurface? Can I not just do that? Can I not just say that? I feel like I could just do that. I feel like I could just do whatever I want there. Does 10 work? 10 works. Is it that simple? Impacts with anchor spawn hovering fish bones. After 4 impacts with anchor, bones fuse together and spawn a bonefish that swims the subsurface. Moby fish? Okay, but okay, here's the question. Does it spawn more than one? Or do we keep it as one? Because my thought process is, you know, if he's fighting for a while, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4 fish. So just one? Does that get rid of his passive then when he has the one summon? Because you know what he could do? He could also, like, you could get so creative with it. And you could have him, like, when the fish is swimming around, he could drop his anchor into the fish and use it. And use the fish as travel, too. He could be like this. You know what I mean? Maybe it doesn't last very long. It summons the fish for a short period of time. I think it not lasting forever is fine. And it doesn't have to be a defined amount of time. It'd just be like a short duration, you know? And because I think it'd be really sick to just have it like jump out and like explode into bones again. And that's where you can get creative with it, though. I also like Moby splitting into multiples. I think you can totally just get creative with that. I don't think you'd have to write anything more. That can just purely be, you know, flavor of execution. A big fish turns to a school of fish? Yeah, and I think you could totally get over that. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. Spawn a mythical bonefish that swims the subsurface. There we go. Just that one word means you don't even know what he's capable of. Boom. You don't know what he's capable of. It's a mythical bonefish. It has all the abilities of ghost and fish. Yep. You know what? So this guy could be in aquatic. This guy would account towards aquatic and underworld, I think. What if I went green or blue? Hold on, we're thinking. Okay, what if I went yellow? Hear me out. And then can I tint this blue? This might not be good. We'll see. We're experimenting. Can I double down on that? And then bring this back? Yeah! Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something is right. I could throw a green on this. Like, I want it to be, like, underworldy. You know what I mean? I think the yellow still was sick. It's tough. This looks good, though. So the socket with black. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but I'll try it. I kind of like it empty because the glow, how it wraps in here. I really like that, like this area here, and that's because that glow it's giving. I do want to see how I had it before again, though. Oh, it's doing it again. That's fine. That's a trip. When you take these things away. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That looks so cool too. Like it looks like a flame, almost like Hell Rider or something. Yeah. You could even play with this a little bit, the tint in the alpha. I don't know, that's sick. Either way, that's fun. I think Hipishi's done. Impacts with anchor spawn hovering fish bones. After 4 impacts with anchor, bones fuse together and spawn a mythical bonefish that swims the subsurface. Dunskies. Let's add him to the roster. Now, this is the next part of this. So, Ink, I don't know if I went over this or not, too. We have 4 left. I think we have 4 left. So, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the roster, and then I'm going to put up the vote, and I'm going to give a short description of what we're actually doing, because it's going to be a poll that's put up. Let me show you guys this next part here. Okay, so let's add him in here. This next part is actually really important because it helps define the teams that are on. So a lot of people already know about this, but I'm going to go over it again anyways for those who might not know. We got some new people joining today, which I'm very grateful for. So Hipishi's now up on the roster. I'll put him in the aquatic section as well. I think we started an aquatic section, didn't we? Yeah, over here. So these are our subclasses. Aquatic aliens, avians, clowns, cashier, that's a certain species type, robots, elders, cloud people, royalty, underworld, which I guess, can you dual subclass? I guess there's a dual subclass, right? Underworld, I'd put, like, things that deal with, like, the dead, respawning things, something evil living within, or something that, like, pulls souls, right? Brutes, these are heavies. That's a heavy that isn't related to these guys. These are the Raxstem. This is the original Raxstem, but this is a species we haven't labeled yet. Cursed children. These are people that are essentially demigods that are afflicted with something that holds them back. Knights of Stone Mountain. Bugs. Razor Teeth. Elementals, I guess. This is Panbutelli and Jelly Jam. And the cats. But the thing that's most important, there's also the gods right here. Neptune and Ultra Savior. Let me open this up and give a quick description before I open up the poll. These are the two brothers, Ultra Savior and Neptune. Ultra Savior's job as a god is to keep Neptune in check and imprisoned. Neptune has escaped. Ultra Savior has to bring him back. Okay? Neptune, with his mace, impacts with his mace spawn temporary black holes. You can see how that's an issue for a regular character, right? Ultra Savior hits with his scythe smite the target. Same thing. You can see how that's problematic in the world of, like, making an interesting story. However, that's why these two are not going to fight in the tournament. You can see this as Zeus and Hades, Goku, Vegeta, good guy, bad guy, right? It's more complicated than that lore-wise, but for the vote, we have to decide for Hipishi, which team is he on? Because this tournament, that includes all of these characters, is the tournament of the two gods, or the two-god tournament, where it's one faction, Team Neptune, versus Team Ultra Savior. Okay? That's why we have this list here. This list is all the characters' names. This is the current count. There's 49 Ultra Savior, 45 Neptune. These do not have to be even at all. It's not about making them even. It's about making their character's alignment fit with the team that they are on, okay? So for Hipishi, we now have to vote in chat. I ultimately have the final say, but I do like to see and have been persuaded many times when I thought a character was one way and people voted the other. So for Hipishi, Team US or Team Neptune, which is Team Ultra Savior or Team Neptune. Ultra Savior or Neptune. That's going to decide which team they're on, and who their teammates become. And it's based off of vibes. Looking at this character, do you think it's virtuous, courageous, holy, righteous? Or do you think it's maybe mischievous, devious, evil, or dark? Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. He's definitely on Neptune. Bro's pet fish died, and Neptune gave him the power to bring back. On God. Yeah. Maybe that's his best friend, Fish. And that's why he's finding people to throw hands with, because he just wants to hang out with his friend, Moby, some more. And the only way he can see them is by impacts. Yeah, you don't really achieve undead powers by being a good guy. Fish equals evil. Hipishi. That looks like a pretty firm Neptune, but only 7 votes in. We'll see. If I went Ultra Savior on this, you'd have to have the best argument ever. Because in my mind, he's just throwing hands because he wants to see Moby again. Only being his friend by hurting people. Exactly. The fish is making him do it? I don't know. I think he just wants to hang out with his fish. Yeah, watch the actual summon is Hipishi. Hipishi's the summon. The fish is the real character. And he just wants to come out. Is that it? We got 7? 10? I'm going to give the vote for a little bit longer. This is a pretty easy Neptune in my opinion. So what happens now, while we're waiting for this vote to go through, I'm going to save it. I'm going to export him as PNG. I think in the future it'd be really cool to turn all of these into trading cards. But that's for another time, maybe if and when sRHGu pops off for the tournaments. But basically now I just drop this off in the Discord, Hipishi, and then I will tag this person on TikTok with a post. I know some of you guys have already seen these posts before, but essentially I'll go on TikTok and I'll make a post similar to this where I tag them. I've also been replying to their comments, but I've since kind of stopped doing that because it's such a nightmare to try and find them in the comment list. Right? This is the last post I made. So when I get a good batch, of characters, I'll throw it up like this. So that's how we let the world know that they begin to exist. And then they're officially spawned into the world. Fish, bones. There it is. Now exists. What's up, Coaster Rider? How you doing, buddy? Oh, Fish, Ali. What's the story behind Andre's Arena again? I kind of want to use that as a template for the non-canon story. So, Andre's Arena, he is in essentially the underworld. At the end of the fight with Gilded Guy. Here, I'll give you guys that quick rundown, because now this technically ties in. So I guess it applies. So at the end of the battle with Gilded Guy, he falls down onto that platform, right? And in the story, he hits this and then a big smoke cloud and you don't see him, right? But what actually happens is, and it slows down as he hits the platform, right when he's about to hit it, lightning actually takes him. Lightning strikes and takes him in through the ground, grounding him to the earth. So you show the lightning coming down from, way up, almost like from the heavens. And then you follow the lightning as it travels through the earth, and you see like caverns as it travels deeper and deeper, and then he ends up in this like underworld / nether. And he's summoned from the lightning. So he, instead of dying, he traveled through the lightning. And that's when his hammer then arrives, and he starts fighting that ghost that's summoning up those duelists. how it ties in is the gods are gonna bring the combatants when they're going to fight in the tournament. I need to add sound effects for the co-op part. It's basically done. The co-op part has been done. I need to add sound effects and do I think maybe some like smoke effects here and there, but like it's mostly done. I honestly don't know what my hang up is on it, but they're gonna arrive in this facility. So the gods are gonna spawn in here and bring in like a chunk of 10 characters, and then they're gonna summon them into a battlefield to fight in. Stare. He's not dead, he's fighting for his life in the underworld, essentially. Against this guy who keeps summoning... he's like messing around. He's like creating carbon copies of duelists from the overworld. But that's my tie-in. Okay, Hipishi is done. And he is Team Neptune. I'm ending the poll. That's an easy Team Neptune. So then I add him to the list here, and I go up to the top here, and I increase the number 46. Now we move on to the next. Next one is Dry. We're only, what is this, 4 away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Dry. Creating a new folder. This is the only thing I have to work with, is the name. And after I get the name, I also... Just one other thing I do that is the core of how I create the characters. I'm going to slide this all off. We're cleaning the palette. And I generate a random hex code color. That's it. Another green. Guys, we get a lot of greens. And that's it. This is what we have to work with. We're making our next character. It's like making music. You screw around until you find something that works. Exactly. Wait, can the ghosts become dead fighters? That ghost is like a poltergeist, and he's summoning copies of duelists to mess around. Green is so hard to see. It's not that bad. It's hard to see. It's maybe hard to see on this background, but this is just the background I use for everything, so I'm gonna keep it consistent. It'll be fine. Let's see. So now I can go here and I can say, do I want to make another knight? Does he? That color doesn't really resonate with the knights. Could be a razor tooth. I feel like I've just been doing what works for me in animation, but I don't get how people animate heads first. People don't really animate head first anymore, man. It's a lot different now. They really don't, honestly. Cats, maybe? I mean, you could do a rack stem. Brutes are kind of overstacked. Pretty good chunk of underworld people. Robots. I love how all the elders end up being like these like darker colors. Cloud people? No, it's more of a pastel. Could be another cashier. What's up, Touchmate? Jelly Jam and his whole body comprises of dirt or grass. Elemental? He looks like a slime to me. If he's gonna be like one of these guys. Jelly Jam and slime. His name is Dry. Honey? He's a yellow color. I don't know if he'd be honey. No, he's closer to like slime, but I don't see how he'd be any different than Jelly Jam, except for just green looking, you know? We just did an aquatic. He could be part of this culture. Rajamation and Yamaha. But, so how these guys work, this alien culture, when they get takedowns, they spawn some kind of consumable. So for instance, Rajamations, when he gets a takedown, he spawns 2 antennae on his head. And he can break off these antennae from his head and put them in the back of his scythe as ammo. Like that. Boop. He just crams it in there like that. And have you seen the weapon from Halo, the Needler? Where it has like those crystals that shoot out and like aimbot people? That's what these do. So he just to aim them at them. and they come flying out and they aimbot the target, right? To slow them down so we can approach with the big scythe. They're heavy, they're alien heavies. This guy has a staff that shoots these creepy grapplers, and for every wand he's holding in his hand, his offhand, it'll spawn that number of creepies and consumes these wands. And for each takedown he gets another wand coming out of his back. Scythe, you say? So many scythes, dude. Scythe. I've legitimately never animated a scythe. I don't think. And I have a number of scythe people in here. Scythe, you say? So I'm thinking maybe I go with a Rajamation's character again. But I don't know what the summon piece is going to be. But I've been trying to do it. I genuinely want to create another alien Rajamation's type where they have this, like, passive that stacks objects for them, but I can't seem to arrive at something that I want. For someone called Scythe, you've never animated one? You too? That's actually funny. I still want to expand them. You should go by Flame and have once animated fire effects. I love that. I usually just start out by posing, and I just see if something speaks to me with the pose. Random poses. Dry. Could I do something with antenna from his back? I tried something like this already. It just doesn't feel right. I want some kind of like thing that adds to him during combat. That's the gist of it. I still don't know what weapon it is or why. Stinger tail like Cell. That's not a bad idea. I like to think of, if I have a secondary motion thing, I like to know what their ability is first. Beforehand. Or their weapon. That way I can tell if, like, okay, well, their ability is really heavy. I don't want to actually have to have a secondary thing to animate. Grows more spikes, the more water it drains. Because he's dry. We're thinking. We're using our thinking. We're thinking. We're using our thinking. We're using our thinking. He could shoot him out. That's not a bad idea. We're on the right track. Do I want to animate a tail, though? We're thinking. I don't know if I'm sold to the tail idea, but I'm not against it completely either. I'm somewhere in the middle right now. But I like the idea of playing on his name being dry and adding water as an aspect to his identity. In that he's draining something from people and he has these like spikes he can shoot. Maybe. We're close. Maybe. I kind of want to. If that's his ability, shooting spikes out, the secondary motion of the tail is not bad. But I don't know if that gets me excited. The key element to all these characters is when I'm done with them, it's important for me that I'm excited to animate them. So I don't know if that gets me excited. very cactusy color. Fair. Hold on. Let's play with that. What if I just take like these little... Hold on. Can I do this? Sometimes the ideas aren't what we end up with, but they're part of an important part of how we get to the idea we want. You just stab the tail into the ground and do the JH ground spikes thing. I'm not sure I 100% know what that is, but it's like something like this. Where like, it's like tail here, sword spike out of the ground this way, that kind of thing. Tentacle arms, maybe? We have someone like that, kind of. That's not a bad idea. I feel like we're close. I think we're dancing around it. I don't know what it is yet, though. Can we put a weapon in his hand? Maybe that helps. I haven't made a hammer in a minute. Dryer sheet sword? Pass. Cactus hammer. Look at general chat. Oh. What is that from? Interesting. Interesting. Monster Hunter? Let me get somewhere. Let me play around the idea a little bit. Impacts from the hammer releases bursts of needles. That might be kind of cool. Let's keep going. I'm gonna keep on this idea. Let me see here. Not sure if you need to impact the needles. What if these little needles are poisonous? Hammer shoots cactus needles like a gun, maybe. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Something's happening. And this also goes in line with his identity being dry as well, which I like. Let me get here. To think I almost went to bed. What did I miss? We made one character already. We're working on this one now. We don't know what his identity is yet fully. But we're getting somewhere, I think. Or any impact shoots needles like hitting the ground or walls. That'd be kind of sick. What? Oh my god, get me out of here. I hate when it does that. Give me a second. Give me a second. We could stay with the needles sucking moisture and making the hammer get bigger. That's cool! How would we show that, though? Because, like, again, everything I do has to... I want it to be visual without explanation. Like, that's a good idea, but it has to be shown in a way that's, like... Like, maybe on impact, I animate these really simple particles that shoot out. And, like, aimbot to the hammer, and then the hammer's head gets larger. You know what I mean? Like, they do like this. They, like, swirl around and find the target. A fruit due to the colors. Should we think of seeds? What's up, Donnie? Seeds is a good idea, too. He could grow cactuses. But if he were to grow cactuses, what would they do? Almost done with all the tests. Let's go. Gotta finish my Archie animation done this week. Oh. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Explode? Explode in what? Needles? What if they literally make... What if the cacti are literally like this? They grow to the ground like this. It's literally the hammerhead. What if I did... Hold on. I'm thinking... Give me a sec. Hold on, hold on. Like, I wonder if you could have them layered as such and getting hotter and hotter. And then they boom. Well, I like the idea of not having to hit the hammer on the ground, though. Because when you remove it, like, remove needing to hit it on the ground and instead it's on a target, it enables you to, like... it enables you to... Is that just one? Because, like, you want to give purpose to your attacks that have, like, a passive effect. So instead of him having to smack the ground, he's just hitting the enemy as he normally would. And those seeds are kind of spreading out, right? So I kind of like that as a concept a little bit better. Just because you don't have to take a unique attack to affect the target. So I kind of like the idea we had where it's like spawning seeds. So I'm seeing, like, I'm wondering if, like, they could like boom and then explode. Check out General. Oh! Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So, is this a projectile? I'm not reading all this. Sorry, guys. I can't cut up on that right now. But, like, is he aiming this at them? And then it's like, it's almost like absorbing them? Okay, hold on. Let me see if let me visualize this. Give me a sec. I see it. I see it. Now, what does that do to them, though? Because, like, this guy, if he's wielding a hammer, and that's what this is, it's basically a hammer. He's going to be a heavy, so I don't want... That's good for a heavy to have a ranged attack. I like my heavies having a ranged attack. But, how does... I guess it comes down to two things. How does that allow him to gap close? Slash, how does that make it to where the enemy isn't just completely incapacitated? You can combine those with sieves, though. Throw those to the enemy, and on hit, you absorb, and the hammer gets bigger. Ooh, okay. Hold on. I'm also going to do these a little bit different. I'm also going to leave them completely like this. Some of these will be a little more unique, I think. Since it's not just a cactus. Can the hammer shoot out spines? It's almost like the spines aren't going to need to leave. Because, like, if he's able to point this thing, since it's attached to them, he can drag them in while they're kind of... True. How do I showcase that from a distance, though? I'm trying to be able to showcase, because that's a very long-ranged looking visual to give. I'm visualizing it in my head, like how I would do it. So it's almost like it would shoot out, and then like attached to the target, and then you would see it like almost like pumping into the hammer. That's gnarly. I mean, it's literally this. Hold on. Hold on, let me get there. So, warning, something gross is going to be on screen for a period of time. It's literally this.
Whoa, what the fuck?
It's literally this. But out of the hammer. And not pumping from, but sucking to. Yes? Yeah, they can be both ways? Then I don't know if I'd want to go with a hammer. I like that idea, but I don't know if I'd go a hammer. That's kind of a weird weapon to point something at, you know? The pump and dump. I'm okay not doing a hammer. A syringe weapon? That's not very elastic, though. It's very short range. A spear. A spear. That would be kind of cool. Like, it's a spear. Again, this is like an alien spear, so it's gonna be like weird. But the spear, oh my god, are you serious? But the spear is like alive, almost. And he could jam it. He could jam it in to do spear damage, but then also it has like teeth that when it pierces, it can start sending the moisture to the target. Okay, let's do that. Wait. That's sick. Okay, hold on. This is better. We're on the right page. What is that? Okay, we're on the right page. I like the spear idea better. I think it's more in line with character creation. But I also want to keep the cactus idea. What if he has cactus plants on his back or something? And they spit out once they get enough moisture, they spit out something on the battlefield. I think that makes more sense, because he could like extend it, you know what I mean? A hooked spear, something mosquito-esque. Can I make it extra pokey? Like it's got like a really faint tip also. Like a really sharp tip. Harpoon though? He can basically use it like a harpoon. That's sick. And then I can have, like I said, I can have it like pumping the liquid from the person to him like it's a stinger. But then when it arrives to him, it needs to do something. So he needs to have a back bling or secondary of some kind or something that grows on his back because of this. What if... Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. What if he has this thing that grows on his back? Okay, hold on. Join me. He has this thing that grows on his back, right? This plant that you're growing. Right? Follow me. As he's grabbing that nutrients. And then what if, when that plant reaches a certain size, it spews out a bunch of aimbot needles. They literally hunt you down and spear into you. Aimbot style. So he's like absorbing your nutrients and then he's gonna spit it back out. Oh, I can't believe I did that on accident. Pitcher plant. With the flowers and stuff, exactly. Hold on, let me look, hold on. Yeah, because I want it to like spew, and it'd be like it would spew out. You know what I mean? I think that'd be sick. He could be pumping a flower with blooms and aimbot spores. That's what I'm thinking. But I want to do like a sick color with it. Like a wild color? Come on now. I want to keep the design somewhat simple. And it wilts again after the attack. Yeah, exactly. I love giving things that have like build up. You know what I mean? So can I just throw this behind him? Because in my mind, it could literally be animated too like this. Like you just have it like, you could have it like pulse when it gets bigger. Like boom, 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 or whatever, you know, and start off kind of small. And then once it is striking, you could literally be like, I have to fix the you see how it's rotated? I don't want that. We want it like this. So it could be like, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? You could literally have it animated as such to where it's really simple to spew them out. You know, it's a back bling. This is what I consider a back bling character. And then whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I mean? And then back down to small again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Something like that. Does that make sense? I think it should make sense. It's terrifying and gross and wonderful. Okay, so he has a back bling. And that's easy too. A back bling and a spear. So I would still say at this current moment, he's very lightweight as a character. So I think we can still do something with his head to make his head more interesting. We could look back, you know, if we look back at, I still consider him part of the Rajamations characters. Maybe? The flower looks like it eats someone too. He could probably do that. You could probably rip it off. Is there any like small detail I can add to this? The needles. What about the needles? Like, I literally imagine the needles being like this. Thorns. Mist to disappear. No, Pokemon's fine. You're seeing Vileplume, and I understand you. It's okay. This is a safe space. I see the Vileplume, too. Let me think. Don't worry. Do you want to see what I got so far for a joint finale thing I'm working on? I'll check it out after I finish Dry here. I have to keep my yes to your answer, or your question, but I have to finish my train of thought here. In between characters, yes. I want to illustrate it like shooting, you know. But I also, because remember, we want this image to showcase it. But I need, what do I need? I guess I won't have that part in there. I don't know, we're not done yet. Okay, we now have the ability, but he's missing his aesthetic. Is a harpoon weapon that seems like a good choice to use, Scythe? I thought it'd be cool for a point of needle to be connected. Yeah, it's gonna connect. It's harpoon shaped in the sense that he's gonna pierce, but once he's like pierced the target, it's gonna start drinking the target. Like so. And they have to like detach. And that moisture or whatever is gonna go into the plant, and that's what grows the plant. But I want he needs his own identity. He needs his own aesthetic. Right now, he's a lightweight character. He only has essentially 2 objects. So we have liberty to add secondary motion. We have liberty to add effects. Give him a gardening hat. That's not a bad idea. But I take him almost like an alien. He's like an alien demon type. So like, I don't think he's going to have the traditional looking hat. He's harvesting. Is there other words for harvest? He's technically harvesting. He's growing, but he's harvesting. He's harvesting your moisture. So think dry, farmer, alien combo. Arid farmer. He's from a planet that has very little moisture. And so he needs to extract moisture from living things. An apron or something? A loincloth? We're closely approaching the idea. Vines come in the plants. The more you drain, the more vines you can use. Oh. A flower hat covering the eyes. I'm still stuck on hats. Okay, hold on. Let me get this idea out. Hold on. What if every takedown attaches a new vein to the plant? Oh, hear me out. So it absorbs even more moisture or something. So then think about the end of the animation. He has all of these veins, almost like he's more plant than... Wait a minute. Okay, I'm thinking. Hold on. Wait a minute. What if... Oh my god. Wait. They're not attached to him. What if the veins are from the spear to the plant? And the more takedowns, the more spears... the more vines get attached to the spear. So then you can get to a point where he literally throws it like a harpoon across the room. But since he has all these vines attached from the plant to the spear... It can be both, and it's also springy, like he can yank it back. And it also makes sense with the identity of it connecting to the plant. Yeah. Imagine end of combat, right? And this thing, he tosses it. How sick it would look if he's like across the room with the plant, like bracing himself, right? And the plant's like this, and it's like all these vines coming across. I mean, it wouldn't be this big, obviously. It'd be tiny, and it's just piercing somebody, right? Ugh! And then it just boom, boom, boom. You see all these vines sending it back to the character. That's sick. That'd be so fun. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we've arrived. Okay, so now he's a little bit heavier animation-wise. So we don't need any like secondary motion or anything like that to the character, but we could still style him. Does that make sense? That's sick. And that would be really easy to animate, and basically the more actions and movements you do, you just have you have like little sticky points that you add to your plant, and then just attach a vine to that. You see what I'm saying? Like, as you get a takedown, you just go through, you make a new like, a little green spot like this, and then just attach the spear in some way, whatever way you want. Imagine use the vines to keep them in place. Yes, and pepper them with needles. Oh my, see what I mean? That's when you know you have it. When you get an idea, and then all these flood of really creative animation concepts just come rushing to you, that's it. That's a good character. That's when you know it's done. And you can imagine all these vines like coming off of it. Also, as you get a bunch of takedowns, like attaching themselves, like that. Whew. He does takes out like 5 people at once, and you just have all these like this, creating new pivot points on the plant itself. That's it. That is it. That is it, bro. Okay, now we just need the character identity on himself. Can we make it the same color? No. Now it's just aesthetic. He's heavy enough animation-wise with the spears. He also has a big weak spot on the plant because I could say exactly. There's so many ways, so many angles you could think about it. You could think, oh my god, how do you beat this thing? But then also you could think, oh, I just need to sever the ties. I need to sever the vines. You know what I mean? Then you could also think, like, if this guy has just, let's say you have a 20-minute animation with him or something, and he is just, this thing is like gnarly. You could even like make the plant look even more insane. Double the number of plants. You know what I mean? Grow a whole forest on his back. I don't care. You know what I mean? And then it's like a machine gun, just artillery mortar. Fire people would annihilate him though? Yeah, fair. But it's the simple fact that your brain is now like racing with ideas. That's the only thing that matters. Poison Blood would cook on him too, yeah. Rex from Risk of Brain 2. A quadrupled robot. A quadruped robot. Carnivorous plant that fires off quills and such that heals them. That sounds similar, yeah. I want something with his head now, though. He just needs a little more flavor. His silhouette just needs a little bit of work. I got that weed killer in my veins. Something with his head. A leaf? I feel like he's not very leafy, though. He's more cacti. A little flower on his head because it looks more like a cactus. I'm so thirsty for the flower hat. I know, but like my concern is that it will conflict with his actual flower backpack. You know? It'll be too similar, question mark? Or do we make it exactly similar? Do we straight up just take the flower backpack and put it on his head also? Is that against the law? Can we not just give him the flower back head as well? I'll fix his face. Do we just do it? Go for it? I mean, I'll change it. I'll make it better, but maybe same color as the head. Like, I'm down to clown with the idea, but it needs to fit. Maybe purple? Purple's a good color. Some Seawolf. Axe Jag. Yeah, maybe we just make it a different color. So, like, the identity still holds the same, but we're not getting lost. I don't want to just think that, like, oh, wait, does he have one on his head, too? You know what I mean? Nice. Done with the test. Let's go. Hold on. Hold on. We're close. We're close. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get there. Give me a second. How do I show support in this economy? I don't know, man. I haven't figured out the funding portion of any of this. Hmm. No, it's not what I was envisioning. No, it's not quite it. Oh my god. It's like a little... It's like he's a cactus. Just a tiny one. That's actually kind of cute. I actually kind of like that. You know, it's crazy. There's like a final boss mode of him where he just merges together with this plant, and all you see is this like ginormous bulb. It's like this, with a bunch of like tendrils and vines and stuff coming off of it, and all you see at the top of it is that little tiny flower. Like that. And then it's like his face. He becomes this monstrous pumpkin. Oh my god, the helmet though! Oh, the helmet though! Oh, wait a minute, can I do both? Can we do both? Can I do both? I'm gonna do both. Both ideas? Both ideas? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Yes. Yes. Or the flower dog. Okay, the issue with the flower dog tag is then now you have to animate a flower dog tag. And right now, he went from heavy animation light to animation heavy once you're talking about animating all the vines and stuff all the time. So this is more just like aesthetic. So I would take him away from being a Rajamations, and he's more so a nature-driven character now. Yeah, he's a nature character now. Is there a way I can make him cool? Hold on. I'd like to make him a little bit unique and glowy in some way. Hold on. Just because I want to show them off, and when I show them off, I want them to look cool. Like it's spewing right now. He's a flower power soldier. Dude, if you got one soldier there, has to be another one, so you get 2 soldiers. Oh my god. Okay, I think dry is done, though. Dry is done, yo. What do we call this? What's his tagline? It's usually a pun. Oh, dude. There it is. Flower power. Targets struck by spear get moisture. Pumped out of them. Hold on. Oh, it's so close. Let's fit it on one line. Targets struck by spear get moisture pumped out of them. Takedowns add vines to spear, connecting to the plants on his back. Is he bald under the helmet, or is there any other small flower that doesn't require design, just still? I don't know. Honey, what is it? Go ask Hudson for food. Hudson! Hudson! He can't hear me. Go bother Hudson, honey. Get out of here. Go bother him. Takedowns add vines to the spear. Connect to the plant on his back. Scram is crazy. Get out of here, honey. My cat's bothering me because she wants food. And it's my kiddo's job to feed her. What she's doing is she's like scraping the ground to show that she's out of food. She's saying, I'm out of food. Target struck by spear get moisture pumped out of them. Takedowns add vines to the spear, connecting to the plant on his back. And then last but not least, it's what? It is plant on back shoots or spits projectiles. Plant on back grows with more moisture and spits out projectiles that aimbot targets. Plant on back grows with more moisture and spits out projectiles that aimbot targets. Aimbot, I feel like, is a word that is like, it's like a homing missile. So instead of writing homing missile, I put aimbots targets. Aimbots. Aimbot's the target. I think that's fine. This guy would also be very fun to animate. Target struck by spear get moisture pumped out of them. Takedowns add vines to the spear connecting to the plant on its back. Plant on back grows with more moisture and spits out projectiles that aimbots the target. Yes. Yes. Dry is complete. Okay, I'm gonna feed my cat after I do get dry on the roster. Later, Sai. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. And this also creates like a nature section now. And we're getting even closer. You know what time it is. We do the vote. Dry. Flower power. Okay. Is that everything for dry? Yeah. Nature. I think we got that. And we got Rio. And is that it? But at least we have a category started for nature. Rio. Dry. Kind of Rosk, but I guess not entirely. He's not like not really leaning into it all the way. I feel like there's no like forest character. Oh, Novamations. Yeah, nature. Okay, let's go ahead and export dry. Put them up on the mountain, and I'm gonna start the poll, and then I'm gonna feed my cat real quick. Team NEP or Team US Ultra Savior? Okay, the poll is up. Get your votes in. I need to make sure I have dry exported again here. I'm gonna put dry up on the mountain. sRHGu. Okay, putting him up on the mountain now. Donskis. Okay, the vote is going. I'll be right back. I got you. Come on. Come on, I got you. Come on. Okay. Okay. Stylus in my pocket. All right. The lore for Neptune and Ultra Savior is a little more complex than just good versus evil, but it's more simple when looking at it as a vote, that it's kind of like evil guys-esque versus the non-evil guys-esque. This character, with its face, leans Neptune, but the vibes being nature tell me Ultra Savior. And I think that's what we're seeing in the poll as well. Yeah. This looks like another warrior for Ultra Savior. And we're getting that close. Look how close we are to the 100. Let's do a quick count, because I don't know that I updated it last time. Let's see. 46 Neptune. And 50 Ultra Savior. That's right. There it is. DS Mister up next. Unlimited games, but no games, yes. Okay, is everything cleaned? It looks like it's cleaned. And now for the moment of truth, let's go get our color. Ooh. This reminds me of an electric type. It's really good contrast with that color. Let's go see if we have any purpley people. If it sparks any interest anywhere, any one direction. Not necessarily. Let's see what the last couple creations we've had. We have nature, aquatic, brute, gloopy, cloud, cashier, rackstem, night. I don't know, that's a night color. Maybe? Let's see. Razortooth, nature, clown, robot, DS Mister. What if it is? What if it is? Its DSM is terrible. What's DSM? Does something medieval. Avian? We haven't had an avian in a minute. Reminds me of LF2 Master in a way. I can see that. Avian. Let's take a look at the avians. Where are my birds at? I think they're over here, aren't they? So we have time, darkness, wind, tar, and oil. Dashy square, which is a parody of Geometry Dash. Love to mentioned. Avians. Thinking. I'm using my thinking. Become intangible. So like fading through things. I kind of like that. What kind of weapon would he have if he was an avian? It has to be melee weapon. Melee weapon, semi-close range, a phasing avian. We are working on DS Mister. The current idea is making him an avian type, which is a bird. The story with these birds, I think you'll actually like these birds. Ink. So the avians are a race of these birds that in somewhere in their story, they were attacked, and now all of them have some kind of like suffering and revenge within them because they want to rebuild their people. You know, they're basically in a post-apocalyptic scenario for their culture. Like Chronicle here, this is like an oil spill, and he has a tar-tipped spear. So think of like oil and tar as like sticky and gooey, right? But he's also at close range, so he can fly. Crow for Crow, you can see that they're beat up too. He has a cyclone sickle that he can like swoop and push and pull air with. And they all have these like beaks coming out of the side of their head. So they're still a stick figure, but like the side of their head is like a bird head coming out of it. So the elder version, Yedaman, he has an owl coming out of his head. So I'm trying to think of what we could do. I think I'd have a bird head coming out the other side. And the idea is that he phases through. He phases through entities. That's the working idea. But I'm trying to decide on what kind of weapon he might have. A kunai, close ranged. A machete? Maybe. If he has the ability to phase, think about that. Spear vibes would be like his brother Chronicle. Nunchucks? Naginata? What even is Naginata? Hold on. It's like a spear. It's almost like a thin glaive. Top hat and a cane sword. No, we're thinking mist like he phases through people. Melina's size? I'm not sure what those are. Size. Oh, like the Ninja Turtles weapon. I like using trails though. I'm trying to think about how I would do trails with those. They're not very swipey, they're more pokey. Rope darts? Can't be ranged. Has to be short range. He's very mobile. He's an avian. Lance, too long ranged, I think. They're not sharp weapons, they're dull. Dual wield hatchets? Interesting. They metal bonk things? The prongs to help the joint locks and stuff. Hook swords earlier? I like the idea somehow. I think that might be too similar to the sickle from Chronicle. Ring blade? Ooh, that's pretty good, Curly. Will do, Michi. Thank you. Will do. Makes the spikes on it. Ring blade. A bent boomerang sword would be pretty cool too. Hold on. Kung Lao's hats? I think so. Let me play with something. Hold on. Idea. Hold on. What about on swipe? he creates that mist that he can pass through. And that's what makes him phase. It's a blade. Hold on. It's a blade that creates a mist that he can use, and that's how he phases through. So as he strikes, it leaves this mist that he passes through, and that's what makes him phase. Hold on. Check this out. Because he can attack, pass through it, and there's like an alpha version of him that passes through it. And so you could either make him invisible for a short period of time and then show up somewhere else. You know what I mean? That would be cool. And the weapon can do that. Let me see if I can get... I'm trying to get on top of it. There we go. But I want to get behind that also. Hold on. I want just the arm. There we go. There we go. Hold on. There we go. There you can see it's like cutting. The curved weapons that the avians have now? Yeah, I like that concept. He's simple, but that could be so fun to animate with. It's simple, but it's not. Like, the complexity comes with the execution. I like it a lot. This would be fun to animate. I'm down to clown. I don't see any need for anything else. Wait, check me out, I'm cooking. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay. You need a face? He has one. He has a face. What? Mouth. Eyes. Curved blade creates a smoke mist he can pass through this mist to phase through objects. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm looking ink. What am I looking at? It's his wings. When it crosses his body, it makes it intangible. Hmm. Like changing your face, making... Like changing the face you're making when covering with your hands. Yeah. I like that. I'm thinking... What if... I'm thinking about something. I'm using your idea, but I'm thinking about the execution. Yeah, magician cloak vibe. I'm trying to visualize it both directions. I like that a lot. One wing is factually cooler. I don't disagree. I'm trying to think. Like, see how like this is like covering him? And then I could put one behind that is not covering him. Maybe hard lighting it? I'm trying to think. I like that idea. I'm playing with it. Yeah, how to display it / animate it while still looking like it's part of the other birds. So this is like, see how it's on a blend like this? When it passes over him, it actually changes the character. I like that, because then it would also showcase him being like intangible using the wings like that as well. So like imagine, so the direction I'm taking right now, right? I'm traveling this direction, like up and to the right. I'm trying to get back to where we were. It's fine if we don't get there. But, so from right here, we're traveling in this direction, right? So, if I were to have the opposing wings, imagine that these are just one wing instead of wings. It's kind of weird if the wings were to be on top of him going like this, because he's still traveling that other way. Right? Because this could be seen as just one wing, the way that it's already currently drawn. It's totally fine. But I'm just curious, like, if we have it like this, when he's traveling this direction, how is he flying with it? It looks like it's hindering him more than anything, right? Because if he's flying, it should be like this. Ooh, I like how that hard line affects him like that, though. Spinning. I like the idea. I do like the idea. I'm just trying to, like, I have to, before I leave the character, I have to know exactly how I would animate it. And I have to be able to see that clearly. You know what I mean? I'm picking up what you're putting down. No, they do fly. They're hurt, but they can fly in like bursts. They're not flying where they're just like perpetually in the air, though. Spin attack? Oh, so it's like a motion that he does. So the wings would come down like this. So it's like an attack almost. We could do that. Where it's like the wing comes down over the body. Almost like an attack. That would be sick. And he can whoosh, cover himself. I like that. That makes more sense, too. Okay. Then let's give his weapon a different attack. Or actually, you don't need to give it a different attack because you're going to be animating the wing coming around Yeah, if you're animating the wing coming around, you don't want a bonus effect. So I think they could just be... This could be considered him moving really quickly. And preparing to phase. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Gesalfelstein? I don't know what that is. So, Wing can... I'm trying to think. Wing can... What would you call that? Swipe across body? Body to phase dismister through objects temporarily. I would say it's not a form that they can take, but it's like it has like a briefness to it, you know? Becomes intangible after being cloaked by wing. I like that better. It's shorter. I like that better. Cloaked. Becomes intangible after being cloaked by wing for a brief period of time. No, not necessary. Just mess around with some ideas. I like it though. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Phasing flight. Becomes intangible after being cloaked by a wing for a brief period of time. Yeah, the avians can fly. Out of the 3 you've experienced, dude, there's so many cool ones, man. If you like these 3, you for sure are gonna have some big favorites out here. Some big favorites out here, dude. Not that there's anything wrong with what we created, but you definitely would like there's a good number of characters I for sure know you would love. But these are definitely solid. Alright, he's done, man. Dismister, this is good. I like this. Let's go. Alright, alignment time. Don't worry, if you're not in Gen 1, I'm just pausing at 100 because I've been doing this for like 80 hours. Not even exaggerating. This is closing in on 80 hours of doing nothing but just making characters. Let's go put them in the avians. But I want to start to get to animating these. I've been doing about 2 to 3 streams per day. Okay, I think this is it. I love this guy, non-romantic. Okay, let's go ahead and get the poll up. I have to hit enter just to bring this up. Start poll. Team Net or US. I'm gonna go ahead and start this poll. I'm going to export this. And then I'm going to wait for you guys' vote. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to push him up on the mountain. And then we'll move on to the next character as you guys get that alignment. Another avian. Let's go. Okay, go ahead and vote on his allegiance. I will be right back. Neptune or Ultra Savior? It doesn't matter what the other ones are on. He can be independent completely. How did we end up voting? K6. Yo, K6, what's up, buddy? Yo. How you doing, man? Long time no see. I feel like I caught you in a comment recently. Did I not? It was on Hyun's Dojo, I think. Ended up on Ultra Savior. I can see it. I can see it. DS Mr. joins Ultra Savior. We have 51 US Ultra Savior and 46 Neptune. Urchin 2 Bajillion. Up next. Long time no see. Hate these birds. Okay, we got Urchin 2 Bajillion up next. Yes. All these new hats, dude. What have you been up to? Are you in the creative arts? I always love seeing all these people coming back, man. Generate a new color. If there's a tie in a poll, if I feel like it goes to a coin flip, I'll coin flip it. Otherwise, I ultimately will decide no matter what. Ooh. There is, dude. There's a lot of people that are here still from back in our day. Believe it or not. "100% a Waterboy?" Think so? Let's go look at our list. Oh, you know what? I bet you he can be another cashier. Oh, yeah. He certainly has that cashier color. Watch the video of the 2-minute papers. I saw something pretty interesting about debris that can be applied to 2D animation. 2-minute papers. I'm going to put a tab open for that. You'll have to link it up in the Discord. I'll check that out. Yeah, sorry I'm not doing too much animating today. But I am putting out more work. This is kind of the beginning of the next thing that I'm working on. I'm creating a whole new sRHGu universe with original characters that I create here on stream. And these are all usernames of people who left comments on my TikTok. Everything in the center here is all the characters. And all the characters on the side are just these same characters organized into subclasses and classes. I think this is a cashier type. So the cashier types have a coin on their head, and they're cursed with one of the 7 deadly sins. Cashier was greed. Donny Boots is wrath. Nabma is gluttony. Then they have on-hit effects, meaning when they hit a target, something happens. When Cashier hits a target, these gold coins shoot out, and after a short duration, they explode in electricity, like a small electric arcing blast. Donny Boots' character has a 3-hit passive. On the 3rd hit, it shocks the... it stuns the target with white hot rage. So think of like if your hand was to touch something really hot, like touch the stove or something, that quick feeling you get. It's like that, but their whole body. And then you have Nabma, after X number of hits with his blade, heats up the blade. X number of hits on the blade, heats up the blade. And when the blade reaches maximum temperature, Do I have it on here? Somewhere. The every hit puts oil into this fish, and then once it's max temperature, his hits fry the object, and then he eats it. Sloth is next. Yeah, I don't know what 7 Deadly Sin to go after on this. 09 was the best year. Extremely fun, for sure, dude. You'd be surprised, man, how many people from that era stayed with it creatively and are doing some incredible, incredible stuff. Sloth is like lazy. Pride? It's the other ones aren't as visual to me. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. But I want to tie in that into some sort of mechanic. Sloth. Laziness. We could do sloth. I could do laziness. But I'm wondering how. Full Metal Alchemist Envy? I'm not sure. Slow and heavy, as mentioned before. We could do that. It could be slow and heavy. The more hits, the more violent. Slow starter? Maybe. Is there a weapon he could be lazy with? Yeah, Coin Boy. What color is lazy? Brown. Okay. His coin is going to be brown. The coin represents their curse that they have. And it's also like part of who they are. Oh, and they're also Cyclops, so I messed up his face already.
Switch.
Give me a second. Can I do less than that? Give me a second. Yeah, Lock and Lolly, he's working for Alan. Yeah, he does a lot of his stuff. Like a lot. What would be a lazy weapon this guy could use? Oh, come on, give me a break. Ball and chain? Ball and chain is a really good idea. Because it's almost like it's dragging him down, making him lazier. The more more hits lands, the slower it makes you feel. That would be kind of hard to illustrate in the sense of like you have to. I don't like effects where it's like subject to changing their action without showcasing them visually having a reason for it. You know, like if something slows them down, I want to show them being slowed down by the fact that there's like chains on them or something. Maybe his attacks put ball and chains on you. What if he adds ball and chains to you on hit? That might be something. Because then that effect is the same that we're looking for, but it's visual. Because, like, think about animating gravity increase. If the only way you can showcase that is by reaction, meaning, like, the characters have to just act like they all of a sudden can't move as good, to me, that's less effective visually in what we do, because you have to be so descriptive. It's almost like you have to explain that effect. Versus, if there's something physically weighing them down, there's no explanation needed. You know what I mean? You don't have to say, oh, his ability is he makes gravity, so every time they were hitting, the reason why you saw them slowing down was because gravity was getting heavier. And you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. But since I don't do, like, dialogue, you know, I don't want to have to showcase that to the viewer that way. I want to be able to be visually, you know, showcase it. When you say lazy weapon, what do you mean by lazy? Exactly. That's my question. I don't know. What is a lazy weapon? That is the question we have to answer. What is a lazy weapon? This character is based on the 7 deadly sins sloth, which is like laziness. So what is laziness as a weapon? Like slow moving, sluggish. That's what we're thinking right now. I like all the cashier types have an eye, a mouth, except for cashier themselves, who doesn't have a mouth. What? He doesn't? Yeah, he does. He's smiling. You can see that as his eye, or that he's smiling. I like to think of it like his eye, but you could take it either way. Is there something he could do that would make his attack really lazy, so he could like take a break during combat? I think it's cooler as an eye, though. Originally, I was planning it as a mouth, but I think it's way cooler making it as an eye. Give him a gun, he just shoots 3 times and just backs off. He needs a weapon that does things automatically without him doing too much. What would that be? Drill? Drill's not a bad idea. We're on the right path. A flying drone? Okay, we're getting there. We're thinking. We're using our thinking. Begin, and he cuts to tennis standing in his office. This guy doesn't really want to fight, so I'm gonna do it for him. What is something he could do? What's the laziest weapon? Basic drone will be equipped with several weapons. Something that drags him around. What if he has what if his weapon is a pillow and a blanket that are like semi-sentient? Hear me out. I don't like the drone idea. I don't like it being a drone because that's too like on the nose. That's too like, oh, it's just gonna fight for him. But what if he had a pillow and a blanket and somehow those are actually weapons and he's like getting drugged around by them? Like, you have to think of it more like you're fighting his pillow and his blanket, technically. But it's really also him. Instead of flying carpets, a flying bedspread? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Think Doctor Strange's cape with a pillow. But somehow these two things together are going to be his weapon. And he will be basically towed around by it. And he'll perpetually, in combat, continuously try and sleep. Like, during combat, he will try and sleep, but the weapon will make it to where he can't. Like, the weapons both will be very good, but at the same time, it's almost like he's fighting against his weapon. Wow, that's barely even tinted. The sheets can Tyra. Oh my god, make a flail. His laser weapon is a whack on. Okay. Didn't we have a character like this? No. He is the weapon the pillowcase uses. Okay. The sheets tie around the pillow to make a flail. And the pillow will just attack for him and drag him around. We're here. Red will go really well with this. Orange will go even better. For a curtain color here. It's going to be around his waist like that, like a belt. And then Okay, hold on. This will be a fixture on his body. And then literally, it'll swing and attack. Didn't we have another character like this? Not that I know of. I have no sentient futon. Yeah, we don't have another character like this. This character is literally being drug around. Oh, he's just thinking about the cashiers? Yeah, are you talking about like the same species as the cashiers? Is that what you mean? Yeah, this is one of the cashiers.
Can you feel that?
Gotcha. Yeah, it is. I thought you meant his like mechanic, and I'm like, what? I can't think of anyone else like this. I'm trying to think about how to tie this in, literally. It's like a sentient... You know what I mean? Later, Ink. Thanks, buddy. Like, he just wants to sleep. I'm trying to think about how to make this like a blanket, though. No, it doesn't whisper anything to him. He just wants to sleep. And it's doing stuff for him, making him do stuff. Yeah, he's literally gonna be... We can do that.
Let's play.
So how is he drugged? How can he physically being drugged into battle? What if the pillow corners were like his feet and his hands? How would we do that? That would get really, really crowded. It would take up his entire silhouette. If I'm seeing it the way that you're saying it. We're trying to figure out how can we make this a weapon. Gotta get really creative here.
Let's play.
No, I don't want to animate a sentient blanket, full-on articulated blanket all the time. That would be a literal nightmare. But there is something here. You know? Pillow and blanket is the concept, but I gotta think about how we can make this to where he can attack with it. blanket burritos around him and he swung like a club. Blanket would be a nightmare. Was a pun. No, it wasn't intentional, I'll be honest. I'm trying to make his eye seem, his one eye closed without it make it seem like it's like struggling to be closed. Kind of like that. But how does he do this? How does he attack if he's like trying to sleep? That's the biggest question. But I don't want him to like... I imagine him just struggling to get to the pillow to relax. And the pillow is striking and he's like falling onto the pillow. You know what I mean? Like almost like a drunken master type thing. Drunken fighting, exactly. He has a pillow and what? Think lazy, think tired, sleepy. I think pillow's the right move. It's a simple object. It can be stretched and skewed, and you can get away with that no problem. But I need something to like prop him up almost. Teddy bear? That's kind of similar to the pillow though. Maybe he gets agitated when he's trying to sleep. Maybe. I feel like that's more creative during combat versus his ability. You know what I mean? Right now, sentient pillow attacking is A. But is it attack to something? The thing you put on your eyes to sleep? We could do that. But that might just be an aesthetic thing that he takes off during combat. You know, that's like flavor. An entire bed? That would be a nightmare to animate. Feathers? I don't see how feathers could apply. From the pillow? Yeah, I could see them as projectiles, maybe. He could have a weapon, but just be dragging it. And the pillow is like a sentient pillow that's like floating for him / with him. You know what I mean? Bedposts. He's the ball. The blanket is the chain, and the pillow is the user. That's basically my thought process, but like the chain was going to be the blanket, right? But the thing is, I don't want to articulate a blanket all the time for every move. That's going to be like really heavy and really difficult. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good idea, but the amount of animation, not only talent, but to do, might just be way too heavy. Maybe. You know what I mean? An alarm clock would be interesting. I would say like an alarm clock that can like wake him up or something, but then that also might just make him I mean, you don't want, he's not gonna rage out. He's gonna be too tired. Well, here's the thing, Cashier. I honestly think that yours is better without the mouth. I honestly would say that your interpretation of just the eye, I like that way better. Way better. I think that this is truly original Cashier to the left. I think you could do this for the memes every once in a while, but I think that it's way cooler if he doesn't have a mouth. I think your take on it, not only... I think my mouth makes it look more like an eye than it was a mouth in the first place, and I think it's way cooler on the left. So I would say he doesn't have a mouth all the time, but sometimes maybe it comes out when he's trying to be cheeky or something. What if the alarm clock wakes him up and he tosses it lazily at his opponent to turn off the clock? Urchin just has a bunch of alarm clocks in stock. What's up, OP? Oh my god, it's 5 o'clock. The 5 more minutes attack? What if that's what's propping him up right now? And it's just a bunch of sequences of him trying to go back to sleep. Is there a way I can illustrate that? Is there a way I could do an alarm clock weapon? I see something in my mind. I almost see this as a bunch of little alarm clocks. They kind of look like cell phones now that I think about it, though. By the way, you draw your faces reminds me of Bog. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I literally have never drawn faces before. That's just... Or typically on stick figures, ever. That's just the first thing that came out when I started doing the faces for these characters. So I really don't have an explanation for that. How can I make these all like alarm clocks and it's like this big alarm clock brick? Because my original alarm clock when I was a kid looked like this and it had numbers on it. It looked like this and it had numbers on it. They had numbers on it, you know? You know what I mean? But I don't know. This is a tablet. Yeah, digital alarm clock. That's what I'm going for. But I don't know if it registers as that. And I was trying to think of like... I could put this together, but it's a really complex looking weapon with not a lot of play. It's not very clear visually, I don't think, that way. But I wanted to almost prop him up. Maybe it's just a weapon covered in alarm and clocks. What if it's just as simple as that? It's like just a staff or something that's just covered in alarms and bells. Analog clock at the top, maybe? Maybe. A grandfather clock? Ugh, I don't want to do a perfect circle. Have bells, have a stun on the enemy. Hmm. 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 The weapon's gonna look so busy, I'm just envisioning it. You know? I wish it was more simple. Strong when asleep. Weak when awake. Teddy bear. Teddy bear is basically the pillow. I don't know that I want to go time themed because this is becoming too close to Mr. ZZZ that we already have. He just wants to take a nap. He doesn't want to do this. It's his whole vibe. So like, it's not as much sleeping as he's trying to just rest. Like, I just imagine him in combat trying to like lay down or lean up against a wall or, you know what I mean? Body pillow weapon. Gudetama? I don't know what that is. So I'm just trying to think of something that goes with the pillow. His dreams would go and fight. Hmm. That's kind of cool. Hmm. A dream cloud? Okay. Maybe. How does he attack? And who is it doing the attacking? I'm not against it. We're going through a train of thought here. His dreams attack for him. That would be kind of cool. How would that look visually, though? I feel like it's a mixture of his cloud and his pillow that are going to be comboing things for him. Some form of his dream pops out. Let me see what that might look like. Hold on, I have an idea. I said alt. Come on. So you would still be fighting him. And maybe with enough attacks you can wake him up. And all he can do is run back to his pillow and blanket. To get back to sleep so that he can fight you. Watch this. Watch. I have an idea. Give me a sec. They'd be like this. Dreams popping out of the cloud, like above his head, might be too much because then you have to like show them. But maybe it's just coming out of the cloud that's hovering underneath him and carrying him. He is literally listening to Toa. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to think about how he would actually attack, though. Like, this is what an attack could look like, theoretically. Like in this no-break music. Digital funk. It's the producer that always uploads Chinese meme every day with his music in the background and YouTube shorts. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen other things like that, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying here with like the after image? It would like pop out like this. Maybe the cloud turns two thunderclouds and tries to protect him. Maybe? He's battling the Dream Island. Like, I could literally animate an entire thing where it's him animated normally, but I would take each frame and just do knockout. And then this guy would just be floating behind. And when you attack, you would actually attack this guy, and that would, like, knock him off the pillow and the cloud and whatnot, and he'd be like, whoa, whoa, and he'd be like, wake up for a second, you know? But then the pillow would wrap around, the cloud would wrap around and catch him. The pillow would come back down and he would just resettle himself, and then these clones would be coming out, these mimics essentially doing attacks for him. I could see it. But I guess it's more so, can you guys see what I'm envisioning when I'm doing this? Can you see what I'm saying? Because I could literally animate the character 100% of the time actually in this knockout mode, like this. And he would just be floating behind. And technically, this would be the thing doing the attacks. The pillow isn't forcing him to sleep. He wants to sleep. He wants to sleep. The pillow is his pillow that he just wants to rest on. It's not forcing him to do anything. He wants this. It's his after image self that's actually fighting while he's asleep. Because he's lazy. Oh, hey. Then is it the other way around almost? Like this? Is that like creaking from Minecraft? You gotta attack the source in order to make the clone stop? Yeah. Could the mimics mimic other characters? It's just him. The mimics are just essentially, don't even think of it as a mimic. Just think of like, I'm basically animating these characters with this knockout, like this. I think I would drop the pillow entirely here, honestly. And I could just have a blanket in his hand. And they could be coming out of the cloud. Wouldn't the knockout be hard to see? I don't think so. I don't think so. I wonder if I could also do... Like, there's things I could do to make it more visual. If you want the playlist, I'll give you the playlist. That's the playlist. Royalty free bonk. Sorry, that was for the music, not the drawing. I know. I linked it. Let me see. He could even summon multiples out of here, I would think, too. Because, like, I could probably save this glow as a preset. Save as Urchin. They just pop out. Or I guess he could be full, and this one could be the one that's low alpha. Like he's spawning in. I think that's sick. Because it would not be hard. It's just animating the character like usual. It's just the knockout effect is going to be the thing that shows that he's fighting. And you still have to fight the main source. So these are offensive only. You can't interact with them. But you are still going to be fighting this guy, but these tangibly do damage to you. The Mimic is like a dream. Yeah, it's like his dream is fighting for him. Like he's not doing anything. It's the energy and fight that he has within him, but he's just too lazy to do anything about it. So he's just being drug around. He has a little blanket with him. And this cloud, which is the thing that actually is spawning, it's his dream. It's his dream cloud. And he's not, like, under any kind of spell. He just doesn't want to do this. And so, like, when you fight him, he'll wake up and have to, like, react and everything. But if he has time to, like, go lay down, like, let's say if you punch him across the room, right? And he's like, ah! Right, he's flying. He'll land with his blankie, and then the cloud will come back, and then you'll have to deal with the mimics again. Wouldn't that be broken if the opponent can hit the dream people? I don't know. I don't think it is broken. Because, like, the dream people are going to keep you away, right? Like, if you're fighting him, you still have to, like, defend yourself and / get hit by these things. So they have to dodge the attacks from these things to get to him. You know what I mean? He's going to be hard to hit. But when you do, it wakes him up, the mimics die, and then he goes back to trying to sleep. I actually love it. He cracks me up. Because I can already see how I would animate this. And it's basically just, it's almost like you're permanently animating a character that's reacting to hits. A character that's permanently reacting to hits. And simultaneously a character that's always attacking as well. Because if image, he can spawn like 5 of them or more, how do you pass by them? I would think that you would just scale that. You wouldn't have a bunch of these things spawning out all the time, you know? Like, he probably only has one, maybe the second one spawning out. My thought process is, these things can only do like 2, maybe 3 actions before they disappear. And so it's more like another one has to pop out of the cloud because they're like meat seeks despawning all the time. They don't go very far, they don't do very many things. But it's not like you're going to be animating 5 other characters. It's just one guy for 2 or 3 seconds, and then he's going to start to dissolve, and then you start animating another guy coming out of the cloud. You know what I mean? I just want to illustrate, 1, that they're coming out of the cloud, because I think that's a really cool idea by Cashier. And 2, that they, like, do something. You know what I mean? Like, this one's spawning in, this one's doing something, and then all I have to do is animate this guy, like, getting drug around, and then reacting to hits. Getting hit. And he's just being as lazy as he possibly can. He does not want to do this. And that's why he has his little blankie here. And that's going to be a really fun secondary item, too, that he's, like, flailing around. Yeah, they only pop up to do the action and then they disappear. And this cloud is just kind of like floating around, almost like keeping him afloat. So the action is really simple. What's up, Neptune? The animation of him is going to be really easy because I just animate the cloud kind of floating around like this, you know, however I want. And then he's just going to kind of be leaning in, like it's almost like it's pulling him around, right? And then these things are only usually 1 to 1.5 guys at a time. They do like punch, 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 disappear. And then by the time this one's disappearing from its couple actions, another guy's hopping out to continue the combo. So it's not like I'm animating 20 guys. It's just one guy, but he does a couple actions, disappears, couple actions, disappears, couple actions, disappears. You know what I mean? That'll be really cool. I'd actually have a lot of fun with that. And it's not going to be, like, the way I see it, not heavy at all. I'm stealing this from Cashier. I like that. Trying to, at least. What the heck? Yes. The scene from Shock 3 with the green dude, yes. Where he has like a bunch of the copies coming out and doing attacks. Yes, that's kind of it, but like think slower. You know what I mean? Slower in the sense that it's not like his combat isn't going to be hyper speed the entire time. And that, because that was like a really fast, quick combo, or at least if I'm thinking about what you're thinking about. But yes, you know what I mean? It's not him hitting you 75 times with a bunch of clones all at once, but it's similar in that it's like spawning those things out, and then they do something and they disappear, do something, disappear, do some disappear. I like this. This guy would be a lot of fun. And then all I have to do is just normal animating normal combat, but then I just simply apply a filter that knocks him out. Like does knockout. Maybe I show his legs dangling a little bit more to show he's like just dangling behind. I like it. It's the Sloth brother. Yes, I like this. Urchin Bajillion. I don't wanna. Urchin is trying to rest. And does not want to fight. His dreams pop out to fight for him via knockout clones. Kind of like a summoner, but not really. Because again, I'm not really going to be animating more than one guy at a time. It's more like the main character is secondary motion, and his effect is the character. Is it okay to how does Urchin sleep? What do you mean? Like, he has to, like, be resting position again. If he's not resting, he's not attacking. So, like, if you're beating him up, he's not hitting you back. He has to, like, be able to grab the cloud again. The cloud has to be able to come back as he's, like... He should be, like, drifting away, and the cloud catches him. You know? You're like, he's getting beat up, and then imagine, like, you see him slowly tipping over, and then the cloud just... like fades in and catches his body and then carries him away or something, you know? Not away, but carries him around the battlefield. I don't wanna! Urchin is trying to rest and does not want to fight. His dreams plot out a fight for him via knockout clones. There could be this thing. I could animate this thing. The nose thing. Whenever you see this out, and it'll be like, you know, I don't know, pulsing or something? I don't know. You know he's asleep, and his eye will be closed. His name is irrelevant. The name only helps me if it gives me something. If the name gives me something. All the characters will be renamed ultimately in the end. But sometimes the name is super helpful, other times it doesn't really apply. In this case, his color, being that of a cashier type, is what leaned us into the go for a cashier brother. Because he was very close to the cashier. So, sometimes the name gives me everything I need to be creative. Other times, it's the color that gives me everything I need to be creative. Know what I'm saying? If I had my name in there, how would it have gone? I would know. I don't know. I'd need like 30 minutes to an hour and a half to figure that out. Like, right here. Donnie boots. He's not even wearing boots. He's not Donnie. But cashier was similar. Nabma meant nothing. Bluebot, we made him a robot, so that was helpful. That helped for his name. Otaku, I didn't take anything from that. You know, name is helpful sometimes, even if it's descriptive, sometimes it's not. SNS Sweeper. His name was literally Sand Sweeper. Didn't end up with anything to do with sand. It's just one of 2 ingredients I have to work with, but it's not the ultimate deciding factor of what the character is going to be. And sometimes it helps in a way that doesn't make any sense. Like, Hipishi sounds like fish or fishy, so then he has a fish ability. You know? It is what it is. I do not bind the creativity to any one thing that has to be a certain way. Urchin is trying to rest and does not want to fight. His dreams pop out and fight for him via knockout clones. Clones cannot be hit, but also cannot come out if Urchin is currently being woken up by being hit himself. So in short, he can't go offensive unless he's able to rest. Even if it's briefly, he just needs a second or 2 to knock himself out. But if you're actively punching him, he won't have the cloud out, and he won't be able to fight back. That's the important thing. Okay. How does he defend? Creating space. So think like a drunken master, you know? He's like trying to get away. / dozing off at the same time. And as soon as he's able to put his head down on this cloud, they're going to send out mimics that are able to fight for him. And that's going to keep them away from him while he's trying to rest too. Yeah, this will be sick. Was the Gen 1 mentioned in the title? That's all the characters that are going to be within the first take. For this right here, what you're looking at is the current Gen 1 of Stone's sRHGu universe. Generation 1. These are the Gen 1 characters. And we're almost to 100. Almost to 100. This is number 98. There's 2 more after this. And then we get to animating some of these. But before we do that, we need to do a vote. What do you guys think? Is Urchin Team Ultra Savior or Team Neptune? How many will I do in total? I plan on doing a soft cap at 100, doing some animations, and then maybe getting to, 120 or something. Finishing off the people on this list, and then maybe going a little bit further. But, what do you guys think? Is Urchin 2 Bajillion Sloth, the 7 Deadly Sins Sloth character, Ultra Savior or Neptune? He's tired. He's trying to rest. His dreams are fighting for him.
Void.
What do you think? He might not want to be on either side at all, but he will be put on one team or the other. Bing, bing, bop, bop. He's in the tournament whether he wants to be there or not. But then again, he doesn't care. It doesn't really matter for him anyways. He's just trying to relax anyways. He's sleeping regardless. He's got his blanket and his cloud. He just wants to rest, man. A neutral section? Nope. This could be one or the other. There could be one or the other, ultimately. Ultimately, it's one or the other. Ultra Savior it is. Use. This is 52. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and export, get him up on the mountain. Also put him to the roster. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll take a look at a couple of your guys' things that have been posted. And then I gotta make dinner. Hello? What? I can't click the frame? Is this a joke? Oh, it's on a drawing object, that's why. I don't wanna. Why is his body like this? There. Okay. I'm dropping him on the mountain. Okay. I love this. Yeah, this is definitely the better idea. I like that a lot better. It's jumping out of his dreams, more in line. I think this is also very funny. Join Team Neptune today. Team Neptune, perfect. A lot of great ideas today, guys. I think Michi. This is what Michi said they were working on. Dang, dude. Those are some heavy hits. Damn. Is this all a GIF? That is smooth. I love the little hands. That was a good. That was a pretty clean flip. Flips are hard, man. That's sweet. That's looking good. And then Surtex is working on a pass the FLA, 15 frames the ball. I think I saw this earlier. Maybe they got it further. We can finally be BBs. Oh my god! I love that. Oh, I love that. Yeah, we'll add this. For sure. I like that a lot. Can't really see it on his, but yeah, I'm down with that 100%. When I go to officially pull them in, that's what I'll do. I'll add that to their coin when they get animated. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll. Ended up on Ultra Savior, and that was number 98. Number 98. We got 2 more for 100. I'll probably be able to finish this tonight. I'm gonna get off now and make some dinner, and then tonight we'll get on. We'll finish those 2, and then maybe by tomorrow we start animating. And we got to think about, I want you guys to think about this time when I'm away. I want you to I'm going to take a screenshot here. I want you all to look at this and consider if you had 3 characters that you would want to see animated. Not necessarily even in a 1v1, not even against each other, not even with other characters, just by itself. I want you guys to speak about who do you want to see animated first? Your top 3 choices. If you looking at this list, your top 3 picks to see a lot animated and coming alive in some way. Doesn't mean they have to be fighting. Doesn't mean they have to be, you know, anything. I could be just taking a Gloopy and having a Gloopy run around and showing off its abilities. You should be biased. It should be 100% what you want. I would say I'm not interested in animating Neptune or Ultra Savior yet. Not first. I want to get comfortable with some other stuff first. But if you do want it to be them, sure. It doesn't matter. Any of them. You know, but I'm just curious what you guys want to see animated first. Whoever it might be. Okay, so I want you talking about that in the Stone Mountain Discord. Debate it. Whatever you guys want to do. Because I'm going to be starting to think about that as we finish up these last 2 characters to 100. And then once I've kind of honed in on who I'm interested in, I'll get started. Okay? Alright, friends. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay? Bye. 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 Bye.